This is Theme Park Thursday with Dillos.
Let's talk about opening day of the VelociCoaster. Is this coaster going to be impactful enough that it changes the landscape for Universal during the summer, through the holidays, whatever it may be? What kind of impact? I know it's hard to gauge coming out of a pandemic, but
Absolutely. I mean, well, I think this is perfect timing for Universal because I think in a lot of ways they're going to kind of have the summer newness, hotness factor in Orlando to themselves. Disney has pushed the opening of their Ratatouille ride to October. Now, informally, I hear that they are trying to staff it up as early as July, at least for employee internal testing. And then it could certainly be running guests well before October. It's probably ready to run now, technically. The issue is that Disney kind of wants to push to that next fiscal year, and that's they're going to make their big push in the fall for their 50th. They want to make sure that they have the numbers to justify their spending on the 50th, and they can just write this year off as another loss. Universal has been much more aggressive, and I think that I've heard from people all across the country that they've seen VelociCoaster commercials. So I think that they're hoping that's really going to grab eyeballs. On the flip side, though, this is not another Harry Potter ride that the whole family can ride together like Hagrid's was. This is a ride that is intentionally extremely intense and self-selecting. You see exactly what kind of experience you're in as soon as you walk in the park and see that giant top hat across the water. You know this is not for the kids. This is not for grandma. This is for the teenagers and the healthy young adults, and the people like me who are maybe not so young adults anymore, but we haven't gotten smart yet. So while something like a Hagrid's ride or a Spider-Man ride can appeal broadly across the whole family. This is one where the kids are definitely going to be stuck in the child swap room for this. This might be one where most of the family goes to the river adventure or to Camp Jurassic, while one or two members of the family ride this one. So I think yes, we're going to see a huge surge this opening week, this opening month. But when the dust settles, it's definitely going to make Universal a destination for coaster addicts. But I think in the long run, the crowds are still going to head first to Hagrid's, when everything shakes out. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah. Jen, does it convince you to go on? We've been bugging Jen for months. She's not going anywhere near it.
So, Jen, what kind of a coaster rider are you? What is the most extreme coaster that you feel comfortable riding, or that you feel like you enjoy it and not just endure it?
Thunder Mountain.
Okay. Yeah, so Big Thunder Mountain is excellent for tweens and people with kidney stones.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic for those demographics. This is not Big Thunder Mountain. The only thing that they have in common is that they both use a lap bar. There's no over-the-shoulder
Which is
restraints.
what I don't like about the VelociCoaster.
Okay, so I will, if I can turn you around on anything, it will be that. The lap restraint that they use is so comfortable and creates such a feeling of don't want to say pinning you in, but
you can say that would make me feel better if it's pinning me in.
With contact going basically across your entire thigh, all the way from your knees all the way up to your hip bones. There is a roller coaster in Hershey Park called Sky Rush, or as I call it, Thigh Crush. When it first opened, I rode that, and it had these just a lap bar restraint, but it just went over kind of one point in sort of the middle of your thigh, and it felt like your legs were going to break the whole time. These lap restraints really are comfortable. You feel the out of your seat forces, you feel the ejector air, but you feel securely held in for sure. But most importantly, you're not banging your head and your neck against restraint. That's the worst part. Something like the Hulk, when you get that head banging, it's knocking your earrings into the back of your neck, or banging against your throat. That's what really gives people a sore neck.
Mhm.
When you just have the restraints on your hips and your legs, then you can freely sort of anticipate with your upper body and sort of lean into the turns, or even just sort of go ragdoll and flop with it. And honestly, that's a lot safe. It's when you kind of are trying to brace yourself and really hold tight. That's when you
Yeah.
hurt yourself. When
Yeah,
you
that's me.
just sort of go ragdoll, well, let physics take you.
Oh,
You'll be
no.
fine. You'll be
No,
fine.
no. Yeah, the most quote unquote extreme coaster I've been on is Rock and Roller Coaster. I haven't gone bigger than that.
Okay.
That my nails are just digging and I am stiff as a board.
Well,
That's
I will say that the launch on Rock and Roller Coaster compared to the VelociCoaster launch is like the Slinky Dog launch compared to Rock and Roller Coaster. So
see, yeah.
yeah, it's
Did I
just
mention
not in
that's
same
the
category.
most terrified I am is waiting for the launch on Rock and Roller Coaster? So, I mean, it's not looking good for the VelociCoaster for me.
All right. Well, I think you two should go together though,
Yeah.
and you can just stand at the fence and
Yes,
watch
exactly.
and point and wave.
Exactly. I'll get the content with my phone and then Frank can go
Exactly,
on it.
exactly.
Oh my
Speaking of
gosh.
phones, I think the best thing about that ride is that you can keep your phone in the queue all the way right up to before boarding. The double-sided locker system, genius. They need
Oh,
that
that's
on
cool.
every freaking ride from now on.
Mm,
Because,
that's
you
cool.
know, Disney somehow is able to make all these rides where you don't need a locker for anything.
Mhm.
Universal doesn't seem to know how to make a ride that doesn't require a locker and a lap restraint. Fine. But at least they finally figured out that you can't tell people they've got to wait in a 2-hour line without their smartphone.
Yeah.
People aren't going to play that anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
The double side locker system works so smoothly. Genius.
That's really smart. I didn't know they had that.
Yep.
So Jen, it's gonna be a no.
No,
You
it's a
don't-
no for me, but I'll be happy to watch you.
But you could go. You could wait in the line. They're really cool. They're animatronic dinosaurs to look at in the line. Some really great
Okay.
Easter eggs. And then when you get to the locker room, he goes and rides. You
Yeah.
stay in the child swap room and watch
That's I
episodes
was
of
just
Camp
about to say.
Cretaceous from Netflix on the big screen
Perfect.
TV. It's awesome.
I
Everyone
love
wins.
it. Excellent. I'm
I think
there.
you could. I think you could relax into it. I don't know.
I absolutely could not.
Maybe with heavy medication, or they are now serving the Isla Nublar IPA, specially brewed just
Oh,
for
there you
Jurassic
go.
World. So a couple pints of that, and maybe
Yeah,
you could go all
maybe.
ragdoll.
That I mean, that would probably do it, but yeah,